To tune in to today's episode of the Kim Jacobs Show. Listen, we have a great show lined up for you. I'm your host, Kim Jacobs, better known as the Balance Doctor. And all of our guests that come on, they're either people that have overcome some tremendous odds in their own lives as they balance this thing called life, or they're experts and they're here to share tips and strategies that will help you better balance and manage your life. Grab your virtual seats and let's get ready for some real, relevant, and relatable content on today's episode of the Kim Jacobs Show. Guess what, everybody? We have with us today Mackenzie Rhodes. How are you, Mackenzie?
I'm good. How are you?
Okay, I'm just like over the top. My cheeks are burning. I'm bubbling over with excitement because you are here, not behind the scenes. You're here, as they say, in living color, right? You right here on the screen today.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm excited about that because Mackenzie normally, just so you all know, she works backstage with me on the Kim Jacobs Show. So you hear Lorelai, who's in the background. She was getting ready to take a nap, and then she was like, "Ha, I'm not taking a nap right now. No way, no way." So Mackenzie normally works backstage with the Kim Jacobs Show, and she's the one that takes us to commercials, start the show, and all of that. But today, she is my formal guest here on the show.
I've not been a formal guest in like 2 years, Kim.
I'm so excited. Okay. So I feel like a proud parent is what I feel like because my cheeks are kind of burning here. Mackenzie is a wife. She is a mother. She is a TikTok sensation. So she has like some viral stuff over there on TikTok. And she's a daughter and also works with the Kim Jacobs Show. So glad to have you, Mackenzie. Welcome.
Hi.
Okay, so we're gonna have a good time, everybody. Go ahead and grab your virtual sheets. I said sheets. Go ahead and grab your virtual seats and make sure you share the broadcast. You know, I had Cassandra on recently too.
It's me, Cassandra. We worked with Kim. Cassandra's worked with Kim longer than me, but I've worked with Kim for almost 4 years in September. So.
And you've had a good experience?
Oh yeah, I love it.
Oh, okay. I got that on record. She loves it, everybody. And I'm so glad that you're a part of the team and very honored to have you. Okay, so I could do that all day. But today, everybody, we're talking with Mackenzie because she is a wife, she is a mother, and she's a mother of children that are really young. So she also does a lot of her work from being in the home. So we're going to talk today about how to balance motherhood, being in school. She's also a college student, and managing her family, all of these different hats. How do you do that without losing your mind? Right?
Sometimes I do lose my mind.
I was wondering what you were going to say.
No, so my husband, so like what I will do is I have a routine during the day. So like my husband leaves for work at like 5:45 because he works 6:30 to 3. So me and the kids normally sleep till like 8, 9. And then I get up and then I put a TV show on for the 3-year-old, and I'll take care of the baby and put her in her little like jumper thing next to me. And I'll do school for about an hour, hour and a half, and then I'll do the show. And then I get up and then I make Remy lunch and I make me lunch and I feed Lorelai baby food. And then I can put Remy and Lorelai down for a nap, and then I clean. So I have a little routine with it. So
that's good. So how important is it to have a routine, especially if you're staying and working out of the home? So that you sound like you've kind of mastered that, which works for you. And I often tell people too that what works for one household may not work for someone else's house.
I don't know.
But what advice do you give mothers, women, wives that are trying to balance those type of scenarios that you're finding yourself in?
Right. So my thing I definitely feel like some people lose themselves as a mom, and it's a good thing because being a mom is like the best job you'll ever have and the biggest responsibility you'll ever have. And my viewpoint, I guess, is at the end of the day, I'm replaceable in being an employee. I'm replaceable in everything else, but I'm not replaceable for the two tiny humans that I'm accountable for. So, it's important to me because one day they're not going to need me in the way that they do now. I exclusively breastfeed, so she's not going to need that from me one day, or he's not going to need a comfort in the middle of the night or trying to come into our room. So it can be hard in the thick of it because you don't know, like, because sometimes the baby doesn't want to sleep through the night, or the toddler comes in your room and wants to get in the bed with you, and you just are like running on caffeine and Jesus. But I mean, one day they're not going to need me in that way. One day Rumi's not going to want anything to do with me. He'll be a teenager. And one day she'll, be independent. And so, but we definitely get breaks. We try to get breaks. So like last weekend, my best friend had the kids for the weekend and me and Trenton went out to eat something small. But like having time to reconnect with your spouse, because I feel like sometimes you can just be all about the kids. And then that's how you end up being like, I hate to call it the roommate phase, but you feel like roommates, and one of you is just working to provide, or both of you are, and you come home and take care of the kids, or one of you is staying home and taking care of the kids, or your husband. And you just feel like I don't want to, I fell in love with this man for a reason. I don't want to just feel like a roommate. I don't want to get into the point where it's just kind of meh, So like on Valentine's Day, he surprised me and brought me like flowers home, and brought our daughter a flower, and brought Remy a little lion, like stuffed lion. So he'll just randomly surprise me. So I just don't want to get to the point where I feel like where I wake up one day where our kids are gone and I'm like, I don't even love this person,
Right.
Or I don't even want to be with this person.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's all about trying to find the balance. So like next weekend, we've been married for 2 years. So my mom's keeping the babies and we're going to go to Gatlinburg for the weekend, and we just booked our hotel and I'm all excited.
Now you're not going to, let me put my glasses. You know how I can sideways my glasses. You're not going to produce some more babies, are you?
Oh no. Done. Well, one day I'm going to have one more, but not anytime soon. Not anytime.
I know. I said that. Oh no, I have 4 sons and I dare not be expecting any more ever, because I just didn't think I would be having any more. But guess what? I still had one more, and it was Jayla. And antibiotics, y'all. If y'all want to know something, it is very important to know that antibiotics cancels out birth control. I didn't know that. Did you know that?
I knew that.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Well, my doctor, we all had this like sinus infection thing a few weeks ago, so I got antibiotics for it, and my doctor was like, "You're not on. If you need to be careful if you're gonna." I was like, "I don't have to worry about that, but thanks." So,
yeah, that's very important to know. Antibiotics cancels out the birth control pills, and therefore pregnancy can happen.
Right.
According to this is just according to medical physicians. So I'm not trying to be somebody's physician. I'm just telling you what happened was like I got pregnant.
No, I made sure I got something that I didn't have to worry about it. So I'm good until we decide we want to have a third baby. But like, I'm not, my husband, like after we were in the hospital and he was like, "So when do you want to have another one?" I said, "You are out of your dang mind."
He ready. He like, "Oh yeah, baby." Right?
I said, you out of your dang mind. But then again, I can't say anything because, like, I look at little baby pictures of her and I'm like,
yeah,
because she's only 6 months.
Speaking of which, I want to go back for a moment just to tell people you were a teen mom, and so a lot of the viewers would need some encouragement to know how that process was for you being a teen mom. Talk to us about that.
Yeah, so oh my gosh, it's been a while. It was almost 4 years ago when I got pregnant with Remy. That's crazy. So I got pregnant with Remy when I was 19, and then I was barely 20 when he was born. But I dropped out of college, started working, lived with my mom. We kind of were like our little village with Remy, and then
Wow.
it was definitely hard, but I'm glad that I did it. I guess not that I did it as young, but that I'm glad that it happened, because if it didn't happen the way it did, I wouldn't have Remy. Like if it was somebody else, or if it was my husband and me, he wouldn't be exactly him, So
So you look at it, and you tell me if I'm correct. You look at it as a blessing, regardless of what the father's role was in the situation. You personally look at Remy coming to this earth as a blessing, right?
oh, for sure, I can't imagine my life without him. Like he just turned 3 20 days ago, so almost 3 weeks ago, and that's my little best friend. Like he'll just come up to me and go, "Mama, you're so beautiful," or "Mama, I love you," and I'm like, "I love you too." He's the sweetest little boy, the sweetest little boy. But yes, and so it was definitely hard because, like it was just me and him until Remy was 9 months old. And then I met my husband, and then we just got serious really quick, and he ended up moving in, and then we got married like a month later. So it was very quick.
Yeah, I was like, wait. I just met Trenton. I looked in his eyes. I immediately fell in love with the type of person he was. I was like, okay, Mackenzie, I think this might be the one, right? Like I'm your mom, right? Like I'm giving my input, right? So I'm like, I like this man. I think he is great. And he definitely has your best interest at heart, which I was excited about. So I know people that are watching today and listening, you're going to hear something that's going to make you feel the same way I felt. We're not talking about that yet. We're going to talk about that later in the show. So that's why you need to stay in your virtual seats, because you don't want to miss what's about to come up with Mackenzie and her backstory. That's going to just melt your heart. It's going to melt your heart. Okay, before we take any commercial break, I see your hand kind of going like, she's getting ready to give me an assignment. So Mackenzie's still technically working, right? So she's like this. Get ready to push the commercial button. Mackenzie, being a teen mom, how did that work for you whenever you realized that the person that you thought was the love of your life? So you felt like he was somebody you felt you were in love with, and it didn't work out the way that you wanted it to. What advice would you give other teen moms, especially us as parents of some of these teens that might have children?
Right. What's crazy is I still talk to some people that are single moms that don't. It was definitely one of the hardest things emotionally I've ever had to go through, was growing someone's baby that had his DNA that I was still in love with. And then getting over it while I was literally pregnant with our child. So that was definitely one of the hardest things I ever did. But I definitely think it made me a bigger person. But I don't know. Just maybe give each other space. It's hard because sometimes you want to just like, well, they did this, they did that, and you want to jump down the other person's throat. But at the end of the day, you have to realize that you guys, whether you get along, you don't like each other, or you're best friends, you guys made this human together. No one else was involved. It was you and this person, and that is y'all's child, y'all's DNA that's walking around. That is your responsibility to raise that child the best you can, even if you can't stand each other. And so it's taken a lot the past 3 years for me to try to get to that point. Sometimes we don't like each other, and sometimes we get along or whatever, but at the end of the day, that's our son. We made him. No one else was involved. That's our DNA. So it's, trying to be nice when you swap him out, getting along, responding to text messages, stuff like that. You have to be mature. But definitely it's hard. like when me and Trenton were dating, I said, I want to make sure that I know you're the right person before I even think about having another baby. So, like, I was so sure I wasn't ever going to have another baby. I got rid of all my baby stuff from me. Like, I got rid of the baby stick. I got rid of the bassinet. I got rid of the high chair. I got rid of everything. And so then I was like, crap, because I found out I was pregnant.
You're like, no, Lorelai needs this.
I know. So after we got married, we started talking. I was like, I was such an idiot, because we started talking about trying for a baby. And I was like, such an idiot. And then I found out I was pregnant. I was like, I got rid of everything. So thankfully I got a lot of it at my baby shower, but I was like, dang it. So yeah.
I'm sure people were happy to pour into you with Trent being your husband and y'all having coming to the knowledge that Lorelai was going to become a part of this new family. So I'm excited about it. Let's see. So I love the advice that you've given, and you guys in the comment section, put your thoughts about what Mackenzie is saying, regardless of what your relationship is with the parent, the co-parent. You still need to have some level of being cordial with each other in order to be in the best interest of the child. And I'm a big believer that no matter what the circumstance or situation, that particular child is a blessing to this earth. So some kind of way, even if it was something that was like, oh, we know we shouldn't have been doing this act or whatever the case may be, that's between you and God. But ultimately, that child is a blessing on this earth. So I'm so grateful that you decided to still have Remy and allow him to be able to be a part of this earth. And there are circumstances and situations that other people make other decisions, and I'm not anybody's judge. There is a God, and I'm not God. Okay.
Oh, right.
So
it wasn't even a thought for me. Like, as soon as I feel like I found my purpose in being a mom. Like, anybody that knows me knows that. Like, I am a dang good mom, and I mean that with everything in me. And I'm not saying that as a to boost my ego, but I will go without to make sure my kids have it. Like, there was at times when I was a single mom and I was door dashing to make money for diapers. Like, I made it happen. I know I'm a good mom, and no one can say otherwise. Like, that is the thing I am most confident in. But it wasn't even like a second thought. As soon as I found out I was pregnant, I believe I told my best friend before I even told my mom. Yeah, wow. I'm pretty sure I did.
Well, I'm gonna get you for saying that on the national broadcast, right? She's gonna be like, "Wait, I wasn't the first to know."
No, she wasn't. Me and my friend Allie have been best friends for we're 23, and we started hanging out when I was 12, so like 11 years. So I FaceTimed her, and I was like, but I told her, and then I told my mom. But the second I found out I was pregnant with Remy, like, my whole point of view changed. I started taking like my prenatals. I did everything, I went to the appointments. So it just gave me a purpose, So even from the start, I was like, there wasn't any second chances about me having this baby or it ruining my life, whatever. My life was found in becoming a mom. So the second I found out I was pregnant, my life was found in being a mother.
That is so awesome. I think Allie is on here. I was typing what you were saying just now. You said I told Allie, my bestie, first when I found out I was pregnant. And then I actually see Allie on here, and she's like, yes, lots of hearts. Let's see. Yeah. Allie said, keeping it 100, amen. And if any of you all want to come on backstage and actually come into the broadcast, I'm putting the link here for you. The only thing is you will have to show your screen. Okay, let's see. Wait a minute. Do you want to increase your video? No, I don't want to I'm not doing any major advertisement for that. So okay, let's see here. Trev says
there's the link. Oh, sorry.
Oh, you working too? Okay, let me let you do your job. Go ahead, Mackenzie. Just the one with Trev.
Okay.
So, and speaking of which, this looks kind of good too. If you ever want to come on and during the flash round, Yeah, that's why it's so important to be open-minded and try new things, because Mackenzie looks good on the show, right? So it would be good for her to come from backstage sometimes and come on doing the flash round and say, hey, Mackenzie, because I often call your name. Everybody hears me talking to this imaginary person. And I'm like, Mackenzie, can you pop the comments up from the studio audience? And people are like, who's Mackenzie? Why does she keep saying that name? It's because you're backstage, right?
Yeah, but I put makeup on and actually did my hair this morning. I normally look like a hobo. Like,
you look good all the time.
No, listen. My husband thinks I'm beautiful, but 99.9% of the time I am in sweatpants or pajama pants and a sweatshirt.
I didn't say there had to be a dress code for you to come from backstage.
I'm not. I'm just saying, like, most of the time I look not cute. So
you look cute. Y'all, we're having a whole team meeting right now, so y'all are just part of the strategic business meeting that we're having backstage. Okay, so anyway, Juanita said hello. Okay, what did Trev say? What did Trev say?
Hello.
He said hello. I'm just joining. Or Trev, is it maybe a female? I'm not sure. Okay,
That's a whole
about me. I am an honest and good Christian who loves being surrounded by family, friends, and holidays. I'm ready for a serious relationship, and I'm looking forward to starting that with the right person. I'm honest, loyal, affectionate. Okay, all kind of stuff about this person who is easy to get along with. I'm outgoing. Okay, y'all gonna have to go and do like some kind of match thing over on Trev's page, because this right here is a whole what is it? What is it? A profile when people are.
He's trying to find his match on the Kim Jacobs show. Hey, maybe he's talking about you, Kim.
No, I think this is a female. Trev, I can't see your picture because I can't see the picture good enough.
I don't think that's a girl. That looks like he has a mustache.
Oh, I don't know. But anyway, Trev Cox is looking for some love in all the right places because they're looking right now. On the Kim Jacobs show. So
look at that girl. He said, look at that girl. Let me comment on here. You got a man, Kim? You got a man?
All right. Let's see. Other comments. Any other comments? That's good. Okay, let's go on. We're going to take a commercial break. When we come back, Mackenzie, I would love us to talk about 2 years ago. Something happened in your life, and it was pretty traumatic. Yeah. When we come back right after this commercial break, we're going to hear from Mackenzie Rhodes about something that turned her world upside down. We'll be right back. All right, y'all, we are back here on the Kim Jacobs Show talking with Mackenzie Rhodes. And she, again, works with the Kim Jacobs Show. So she's normally backstage, and I'm asking her to put the comments and different things up. But today she is front and center. She's talking about being a wife, being a mother, going to college, and how she balances all of these things. Mackenzie, 2 years ago, something happened. Talk to us about that.
Oh, okay. So, me and my husband were dating, and this is what made me know that he was the person I wanted to be with for the rest of my life. So let me just put, the views expressed do not represent the Kim Jacobs show.
Oh yeah, I gotta put that up.
Anyway, so I got the COVID booster in December of 2021, I think. Just because, it was the pandemic and I wanted to get, anyway, so I got both my first two while I was breastfeeding with Remy. So I wanted for him to have that protection or whatever. So then they came out with the boosters, and they're like, everyone needs to get a booster, blah, blah, blah. So I was like, okay, well, I'll get a booster. So I got my second booster in December just because I wanted to be the most protected I could, I guess. And then in February, it was my 21st birthday, and me and my mom were planning to go out. But my eyes started say I'm looking at you right now, how I'm looking at you. My eyes started looking like I was like cross-eyed. Like my eye looked like I was looking at my nose. But I was trying to look, at you if I was having a conversation. And so I went out for lunch with my mom, my stepdad, and me and Remy on my birthday. And my dad was like, "What's going on with your eye?" I was like, "I don't know. I don't know." And so they're like, "Well, can you feel your fingers?" I was like, "Well, they're kind of tingling." And so my mom was like, "Well, that's something neurological." So we dropped Remy off at my stepdad's parents' house, and we went to the hospital. And I was admitted for like 4 days, but they didn't know what was going on. And so I was, getting frustrated because in those 4 days, I went from being able to like shower by myself and stuff to literally not being able to put any weight on my legs at all. That's so funny. Yeah. And so I went to they expected me to, they tried to discharge me, and I mean they did discharge me, but they sent me home with roxycodone, which is like a big drug that people get addicted to, and steroids. And I was like, well, they didn't even tell me what I had, nothing. And so the next day, my husband was supposed to go to work, and he was going to drop me off at my mom's house because I literally could not put any pressure on my legs. I didn't have a wheelchair, nothing, so I couldn't stay home by myself. So my mom, I was going over to my mom's house, and my husband literally had to carry me from his car to the house. And my mom was like, "I can't carry her. I can't take care of her like this." So she put me in the car. We went to the hospital. We waited in that ER for 12 hours. And they were going to admit me. And they put me into an ER, one of those triage rooms. And that was my room for the night. So I had to sleep on an ambulance stretcher, and my husband slept on the floor. And so after my son was born, I had pretty bad postpartum depression. So I've been on medication with that. Well, not for that, but since then. And they didn't and I take it at night because it makes me sleepy. They didn't give me that medication until 5 or 6 in the morning. And I'm supposed to get it at night. So after that, I was like, I'm done. I'm out of here. I'm not dying on your watch. Because literally I went from my eye just crossing to where I couldn't walk or I couldn't feel my feet. So then I signed whatever it's called where you check out against medical advice. And we went home and we took a nap for a few hours because we didn't get any sleep that night because, ambulance stretcher and the floor. So we slept on the couch that night and got up, had coffee, and he carried me to the car. And we went to Knoxville, which was about an hour and a half from where we lived at the time, which was Johnson City. So, but they were a big hospital that had studied neurological diseases and stuff like that. And so Allie's mom actually used to work in the hospital system as one of those people that when you check in would check you in and stuff. And she told us to go there. And so we went there, and then within a few hours they basically knew what it was. And so I had to go in for a second spinal tap there. But what made me so mad was the hospital in Johnson City that we lived at. They had I had to have a spinal tap done. And if they just read the results, they would have known what happened. So I stayed in the hospital in Knoxville for a week. Missed my son's first birthday because it was during his birthday.
I remember that.
And they wouldn't let me go even to the parking lot to see him. I was so upset. And then, but whatever. So I got these transfusions, and it attacks. So basically what Guillain-Barré was is your body attacks your nerves because they think it's a sickness or something. So basically my body was attacking my nerves. So that's what caused me not being able to walk and all the stuff that was going on. And so then I got those IV treatments, and slowly I could start moving my feet, moving my legs, and it felt I mean, crazy. And so then I had to go to a like physical therapy hospital, a rehab, and I was there for like 2 weeks. So basically I was sick like the whole month of February, and I was in hospitals the whole month of February that year. But by the end of it, I said I'm not leaving till I can walk out of here.
That's right.
So over the whole time I was in a wheelchair, I learned how to walk with a walker. I learned how to shower with my with what was going on and everything. And then I walked out of there with the walker. I did what I was told, and I did that. Yeah, that's my husband when I was in the hospital, and that was me with my walker when we left the hospital. Like we went somewhere, and I had my walker.
And that was how long after you got diagnosed with the Guillain-Barré syndrome to this point that I'm showing in this photo? How
probably a month, but a lot of people struggle with it for years or months, and it takes them months to even try to walk again. But that hospital, Kim, literally, if I would have stayed there, I would have died but what made me so mad was there was a girl that lived near us that went to that hospital that had the same treatment I got at the hospital in Knoxville. They had the same transfusions. They diagnosed her, and I had to be an hour and a half away from my son and miss his birthday when that hospital could have done the same thing that the hospital in Knoxville did.
Wow.
But I was in the physical therapy hospital for like 2 weeks, and then I came home, and it was the biggest deal. I was so happy. My mom came over a lot of the time and helped with Remy. And by like April or May, I was walking without a walker. I want to say it was before that. But I was so stubborn. I was like, I'm not doing this. I'm not staying on this. So I went to outpatient physical therapy like 3 or 4 times a week and learned how to, do it without a walker. I did short distances or whatever. But after that, I was like, I'm not doing this after so long. And so in June, so like 4 months after that, we went to the beach. And in Myrtle Beach, there's this place called like Broadway at the Beach, and it's a huge shopping center and whatever. And so we went there, and I walked that whole thing without a walker, and I was like so proud of myself because but some people take months to even get off a walker, or years to get off a walker to even get close to that point. But I definitely think God and my age were on my side, because if it happened when I was younger or older, it could have taken me a lot more longer to recover from it.
Wow. Woo. Well, I'm so grateful that you were able to recover and you made a full recovery, and Trenton was by your side the entire time. And I want to just put up this picture of you and your family. And everybody in the studio audience, wouldn't you agree that Trenton is a great choice for her, given that he was there by her side doing this Guillain-Barré and would not leave her side? I think he proposed to you during that time, didn't he?
Yeah. So literally during that, I was like, there's no man. Like if this happened to anybody else, they would have left. Like, this girl can't walk. She's going to need help after this. They're going to leave. So this man, that was when I fell in love with him. Like, I was already in love with him, but that was whenever I was like, no. So basically what he did, my mom would come down from Johnson City. Like, she came down a few times, and she would make Trenton leave to go get a break or something, because he did not leave my side the whole time I was there. Lost a really good paying job because he would not leave my side. And he went into, I think it was an academy, and bought me this silicone ring. And he came back and he said, will you marry me? And I said, yes. And so then we came, it was like a week after I got discharged, and he redid it and gave me my wedding set that I have now. And then he got another job, and then we were on his lunch break, and we lived so close to his job at the time that he's like, do you want to go get our wedding certificate? I said, yeah. So we went and got our wedding certificate, and my grandpa's a pastor, so he's ordained or whatever. And he's like, do you want to get married tonight? I said, yes. And so he got paid, and went a little honeymoon in Asheville. And then that was almost 2 years ago. Next weekend is 2 years ago. So yeah.
Okay, everybody that thinks that this is a wonderful love story, please put it in the comment section that, oh, you know what? Somebody is trying to get some brownie points. Trenton Rhodes is in the studio audience, your husband. And he said, oh, you have a cute guest over there, Kim Jacobs.
I agree. I think he's pretty cute himself.
Oh, God, get a room, y'all. Get a room. Okay. Listen, Trenton is in the studio audience. He says, very cute guest, and Mackenzie. But I just want to ask you guys to, do you think this is a beautiful love story? Put some emojis, some hearts in the comment section and let us know your thoughts. Again, Lorelai, Mackenzie was nursing her backstage before we came on. So Lorelai is just talking the whole time like, hello, I've eaten and I'm over here having my own conversation. Hi, Lorelai, how are you? She's like, about 15 minutes of fame. I'm doing well. You notice now she got completely quiet, right?
Yeah. But she does that. Like last night, she's had this little like congestion thing going on. And so last night she was like just baby talking and crying when she was in her bed. So I got her and she was just like she fell asleep right next to her daddy, and her daddy was asleep and he had his arm around her and she was just knocked out. But like if you tried to put her in her bed last night, she was not having it. No, ma'am.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I'm actually glad you brought that point out, because there are different schools of thought when it comes to children being in their crib. And do you just let them cry and until they figure it out? I do not believe that. I'm like,
dude,
what?
I believe in a mix, I guess is the way you say it. Like last night, I fed her, I changed her diaper, I burped her, she was in a sleep sack, she had her passy, there was nothing wrong with her. So she was not like screaming, but she was kind of crying. But she did that for maybe like 5 minutes and she fell asleep. Now, but if it's in the middle of the night or if she's just not having it, I'm not going to make her lay there to figure it out. I mean, babies come into this world only knowing their mama. I mean, they come in and they like, so of course, if she needs me, I'm gonna be there. But
I really would love to hear some different schools of thoughts on this, because right. I've seen situations where, okay, the baby's crying in the crib, and then the parent goes and checks on the baby, and guess what? The baby's full of like blood and stuff because something happened. Maybe they banged their nose. Like, are you kidding me?
It's so scary. Like there was, she fell. I'm not gonna say that on the internet, but like it's so scary because there's so many kids that die of SIDS. But what we did straight from the get go, and this is like against the rules, I guess. She has always had like really bad spit up, like acid reflux. So we've put her to sleep on her belly since the day she came home from the hospital, just so if she did, she wouldn't swallow it and choke, you know? So, but now she can roll over. So she can roll over and she'll go from her,
one side,
her stomach to her back, you know? But It's just kind of, I'm just paranoid.
Yeah, I'm paranoid with that too. And I mean, not now my children are grown now in the teenage years. Actually, Jayla is turning 16 this weekend. So my youngest will be 16. I cannot believe that.
I know. I don't know how it happened. Like, I blinked and my son's almost is 3. And I'm like, what? But I know it's crazy because my mom is like, I blinked and you're 23. What happened with that? I'm like, I don't know. But as a mom, I don't know if it just, you feel the same way your whole life where it's like, that's my heart outside my body. And that's, you know.
Yes,
like,
I can tell you the answer is yes. There's not an age that it changes.
Right. I think
I don't see. I mean, my oldest is 26 and he's still in my heart and 6'5". And I'm like, this giant being came out of my body. I birthed him. Then,
I know.
Then 23 and then 20 and then 18 and now 16 getting ready to happen. I'm like, all of them.
I did all this work just for her to come out looking just like her daddy.
That's okay.
She looks nothing like me.
Right.
She's pretty cute though.
Jade is 12 forever, just so you know. He's 12 forever.
Well, I know, but I think like she's her daddy's twin. So
She is.
I know.
She is.
So everyone's like, you just showed up. I'm like, I wasn't even there. She just showed up, and
You were just the vehicle to help bring her to this
yeah,
earth.
I was just the human incubator. Stop
Trenton
it.
says, "Tell him, baby girl. Tell him,
Stop.
baby girl."
Stop. Hand it to mommy.
Hey, Remy.
He's being 3.
Oh,
But
he's like, you didn't put me on the camera, so I don't know where
no,
you're at.
yeah, he but yeah, so daddy look at that. Daddy's looks, mommy's attitude.
Yeah, that's what Allie said. Daddy's
No,
look,
my mom got her a onesie that says I'm pretty much, or what'd she say? I pretty much get my attitude from pretty much all the women I'm related to, or I get my attitude from pretty much all the women I'm related to. And I was like, yeah. So it's gonna be funny because it's gonna be like we spend daddy's money together, but she's got my attitude.
That's funny. So you can see what you're in for a treat for Trenton over there. All right. That's I'm so grateful again that you've recovered. You were able to bear another child. A lot of things could have turned out
That was something I was definitely nervous about because but like with Remy, we weren't really, it just kind of happened. But with her, I mean, I stopped my birth control. You are so full of crap.
Okay, I gotta not put Trenton's comments up because it's gonna get you sidetracked.
No, anyway, it's fine. Yeah, she agrees. But it took us like 3 months to get pregnant, which normally that's like a short amount of time compared to some women who have to do like IVF or whatever. But I thought like maybe that had something to do with it. And I lost it. Like January, I like right before I found out I was pregnant, I worked at a daycare. I worked at a daycare Remy's whole life basically until we moved. And like when you work at a daycare, it's basically just a petri dish for you to get sick. And so there was a stomach bug or something going around, and I was throwing up. And my boss was like, you need to go to urgent care or get seen and make sure it's not, COVID or the flu or something serious. And I was like, okay. So they came in and they said, is there any chance you're pregnant? I went, yeah, we're trying for a baby, but this makes no sense because anyway. And so they came in and they said, well, you don't got COVID or the flu, but you are pregnant. I went, oh my gosh. And so you wouldn't believe me if I told you I stopped at the Dollar General and bought like 3 different kinds of tests just to make sure. And so we went home and I took 2 of them and it was positive. And so then the next day I got a digital one, DoorDash, just to make sure because I wanted to make sure I wasn't crazy. And so then I was right there and it said positive and I went, but I was so excited. I mean, just the way my husband was with Remy, it made me I was like, this man is going to be such a great daddy. Yep, that's my husband.
And let me ask this with Remy, Trenton does, because this is what I've observed, and I'm totally just an outsider looking in. He treats Remy just like he is his formal father.
Oh my gosh, they all do. I was so lucky in the family that I got married into. You cannot tell a difference between how they treat her and how they treat him. Like my father-in-law says he has, I think it's 9 or 10 grandbabies, and he includes both of them. My mother-in-law kept both of them a few weekends ago overnight, like out of the blue. She just did. And so you cannot, and my sister-in-law, she'll come over, take Remy, and her fiance has chickens at his house, and she'll pick him up and take him to see the chickens, and it's the biggest. They all love Remy.
Aww.
I mean, you cannot tell a difference between how they treat him and how they treat her. So, and like not all single moms that get divorced or their partners died or they're left or whatever get lucky when they get remarried or get with someone. Like sometimes they're like, nope, that's her kid. This is our kid, but that's her kid. No, that's my kid. Like that's our kid. Like they treat Remy exactly like Remy calls Trenton's dad Pawpaw and then Trenton's mom is Mama. Like he'll go, nope, that's my Pawpaw and that's my Mama. And that's my Aunt Nene and that's my Coco. And he not like that's his family too. Like
that
on his
is so awesome. Shout out to the Rhodes family for making sure that the blended family situation works synergistically. And so
Oh,
I'm
for
grateful
sure.
for.
It was, I loved it. Like, that was one reason why I think I fell in love with, I know I'm trying to make this about my husband the whole time, but that was one reason why I fell in love with him too. Is like we came along and his mom instantly started hanging out with Remy, and then me and Trenton were dating, and we went down to Knoxville because that's where his dad's girlfriend lived, and he met Remy and loved Remy and attached on to Remy, and then so yeah, we're all. I think if we could change genetics, we probably we'd love that. But because that's not a thing, he loves Remy just as much as he loves
I
Lorelai.
love that. I love that. Let me, since you're holding Lorelai, I'll do the job for a second. Okay. Normally, Mackenzie, everyone, if you're just tuning in, she works backstage with the Kim Jacobs Show, but she's also a wife, a mother in school, and doing a lot of it from being at home. So her husband said that's because Daddy's an angel. That's why Lorelai looks like him. The other thing is, he said that's the cutest sickness I've ever seen. 10 grandbabies, his dad said. So being able to acknowledge that his father recognizes all of the children, including Remy. Let's see, Dr. Lotus Rashay is on. If you haven't been a part of the Dr. Lotus Rashay Ignites show, make sure you go and tune in. She has great global guests that come on. She said, wow, another great show with the balance, Dr. Kim Jacobs and her wonderful guest, Mackenzie. Thank you for sharing this great information. Thank you for tuning in, Dr. Lotus Rashay. Ain't no blended family. We just family.
Okay? No, I agree. Like, that let me tell you. What? So I had such a different labor and delivery experience with her than I did with him.
Right.
Like, with him, it was me and my mom. With her, it was me, him, my mom, and his mom. But it was so phenomenal. Like, I don't know. So I'll go from like 8 centimeters to ready to push in like 10 minutes. And I feel every single thing, even with an epidural. So like, but when I was breathing and crying my eyes out and everything, he was over there going, I'm so proud of you. You're doing so good. I love you so much. And there was a time where I was like breathing weird and crying and get down, please, baby. Get down, please. Okay. Yes, we will when mommy's done. Okay. And he said, well, why don't you bite my knuckle? And I was like, okay. And I did. And but you would have never seen that man. Well, that was the most I'd ever been in love with him. He was there and held my hand the whole time and was by my side the whole time. And when it was time he was holding my hand the whole time I was trying to push, didn't say it hurt, nothing. And was fantastic. And so
whenever you break the skin, just asking.
I don't know. He said I almost did it. I mean, he told me afterwards that it hurt, but he wouldn't know it. He said, I'm so proud of you. I love you so much. You're doing such a good job. And I was like, oh. And then when we came home, your hormones are like this after you have a baby. But whenever we came home, he was helping me with all the diapers, everything. I was like, this man, I want to give him 5 more babies. Like, what? I was like,
oh, you heard that trend right on the show. You can go back and push rewind and hear that she's willing to give you 5 more babies.
I am not, but I was in the mood. I was like, dude, we are scheduled for 1 more. It is worth it. Like, that moment, I loved him. It was worth every single second of it. So,
well, I will tell you that Trenton says that blood does not make family. His comment is love does.
Oh, and I agree.
If you all believe that, put some emojis in the comment section. Blood does not make family. Love does. And he also said that he was bruised for 2 weeks after the time that you gave birth and you bit on his knuckles, but it was well worth it. I think Trenton has won you over because he definitely gets some extra brownie points for sure, right?
Dude, just being him makes him get brownie points. He makes dinner every single night, and he'll work all day and randomly just does the dishes, or randomly gives one of the kids a bath, or randomly I don't even have to ask for that. So and he does, and that's my love language. Like it's actions and words. So if you tell me I look beautiful and you randomly will just get me flowers randomly, or come in and bathe the toddler or bathe the baby and just do it, and it's less off my plate, that is how I know you love me. But he is so good at telling me, not only telling me that he loves me, it's showing me,
Go ahead, Trent. You don't want everybody over. Yes. All right, listen. I want to take a moment to let you know that the Kim Jacobs Show airs Monday through Friday at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time. But you know what? Me having one of our teammates here that normally is backstage, I'm going to yield the floor to her to do this plea. Request. Go ahead, Mackenzie.
I feel like I did this yesterday, Kim.
You did.
I know. Okay, so if this episode has blessed you, or if any of the other episodes over like the last 4 or 5 years that we've been doing the Kim Jacobs Show has blessed you, send a little Cash App or a little Venmo or a little PayPal over to Kimjacobsinc. And then Venmo is Kim Jacobs Show, and it could be $1 or it can be $1 million. Because if it's $1 million, I can retire at 23 years old. I appreciate it. But so
all right. So listen, you guys, I'm being silly, but here's the thing. In order for this show to come on every weekday and have phenomenal guests that's sharing their backstories, and many of them are providing even a missing piece of the puzzle that might be missing in your own personal household, make sure you all send Cash App is $Kim Jacobs Inc., or you can send it to paypal.me/Kim Jacobs Inc., or you can send it to Venmo at The Kim Jacobs Show. And so we're grateful for any contributions that you all make. And thank you for all of those that have already supported the broadcast. Okay. All right. So I'm going to actually take another quick commercial break. But this one I'm going to do is in reference to an event that's coming up with our Women's Summit. And it's going to be happening on, it says 2023, but I'm going to share this commercial. I'm the managing director in Charlotte, North Carolina. And I want to make sure that I invite you to be a part of eWomen Network. And I'll put up something that shares with you how you can be a part of a summit that's happening in the Charlotte, North Carolina area on April 30th. 2024.
Hi, I'm Kim Jacobs, the Managing Director of the Charlotte, North Carolina chapter of eWomen Network. I am so excited that you stopped to watch this video. I've got good news for you. You've just discovered an international network of women entrepreneurs who are committed to helping you achieve, succeed, and prosper. We're on a mission here to help 1 million women entrepreneurs each achieve $1 million in annual revenue. Here at eWomen Network, we have a complete success system that supports you every step of the way in building and growing your business. You being here right now is no accident. We're supposed to know about you. We want to meet you to find out how we can help you, as well as learn about what you have to offer. With over 500,000 women connected through 118 chapters across the United States, Canada, Australia, and the United Kingdom, you are never alone. If this is resonating with you, please go to eWomenNetwork.com/Charlotte. Notice too my contact information. I invite you to reach out to me and to check out our upcoming in-person and online events. I'm really looking forward to introducing you to our special community.
All right, everyone. And I want to make sure you know that we have our Women's Summit taking place in the Charlotte, North Carolina area on April 30th. At the Charlotte Museum of History. And so I'm going to put this link. If you are anywhere, even some people are traveling in from Richmond, some people are traveling in from Atlanta, Georgia. So if you are anywhere in the surrounding area of Charlotte or surrounding cities, make sure you use this link to go ahead and register for our upcoming summit. Sandra Yancey will be in the Charlotte area at the Charlotte Museum of History, talking to us about how to unlock secrets to success as business entrepreneurs. All right. So I put that information right there in the comment section for you all. All right, Mackenzie, you're also in college. Talk to us about how you're balancing wife, motherhood, and now college and the Kim Jacobs Show. How are you balancing that?
So I've talked about going back to school since Remy was born, Millie. I mean, I went back to school for a little while to be a social worker. And I just was not passionate about it. Social workers make no money. And they a lot of time have to work overtime and don't get paid, what they deserve. And so both my parents were teachers at one point, and I just wanted to. I've always felt called to be in that kind of role. So I just told my husband in like November, December, I said, I'm going to enroll in college and I'm going to do it. And so nowadays with, technology, there's so many ways you can go to school without having to ever leave your house and really even having to be online at a certain time. So I was looking and I found Grand Canyon University, and it's Christian, but it's accredited and it's affordable and it's completely online. So like I have to check in like 4 or 5 days a week, but I can do it at 11 o'clock at night, or I can do it, at 8 in the morning if the kids are still sleeping. It's just really like flexible. So, but it's completely accredited. So when I graduate from there, I'll have my bachelor's in elementary education and I'll be able to like take my state testing, but it's recognized in Georgia too, where we live. So I'm able to like take my state testing and be good to go. So I'm able to it does not have to be like a Georgia school, if that makes sense.
Yes, it makes a lot of sense. So that's good. So you're able to do it when you put the kids down or whatever time works for you, and around the schedule that you already have in place, you kind of massage that in. Is what I'm hearing.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Yes.
All right. Wow. Okay. So again, everybody, today's episode is sponsored by theproducts.store. If you love coffee, if you're a coffee lover, I've heard some great things about the coffee that they sell, and also it's immersed with 6 different mushroom in one of the coffee. So make sure you go check out theproducts.store and get your coffee. All right, let me see. We've covered a lot today, I think.
Yes.
Yeah, you're a great guest, Mackenzie.
Thank you.
I'm pretty happy that I invited you to come from behind the scenes to the forefront and share some of your story. Any other words of encouragement, advice? How do people stay in touch with you? I want to hear that.
Oh, for sure. So my husband told me to put this on here, and it has nothing to do with me. But he is on Twitch and just got into the affiliate program. So his Twitch is Trenton_Rhodes98. Okay.
Trenton
_Rhodes98. So now that I've done my piece on him,
wait a minute, you say Trenton, the whole name?
Yes, ma'am. I can type it real quick.
And this is on Twitch.
Yes. So Twitch is like a video streaming. People will come watch you play video games, and he loves playing video games. But
I know what it is. I just wanted to know if that's what you're saying. Okay. Let's see. So I put that up there, but I want to put it here too in big bold letters. That way we don't misrepresent Trent here. He'll be like, y'all didn't put my stuff in a red banner. Here you go. Y'all stay connected with Trenton.
I'm gonna take a picture of it and say, I got you, baby, or I did it.
Yeah. Okay. So Twitch, Trenton_Rhodes, the number 98. You guys make sure you go and follow Trenton_Rhodes 98. And if you're audio podcast listeners, it's TRENTON_RHODES and the number 98. Y'all make sure y'all show Trenton some love over there on Twitch.
I see it.
Gaming. That's how you can stay connected with him. All right.
For sure. And then
how about you? You want to share any way people to stay connected with you?
Yes. So I'm on TikTok, and I'm currently trying to grow it. Because there's a lot of moms who make a decent amount of income on TikTok being like content creators. So like getting paid brand deals or whatever. So I'm trying to grow that so I can do that. Because it'd be great if I could contribute to my family's income more than Kim and be able to do that, you know. But this is how you can stay connected with me. It's my Facebook is Mackenzie Rhodes, and then my TikTok is
you typed it already?
Yes.
Oh, that's so funny. I'm over here typing. Okay, you done threw me off. Okay, go ahead.
And then my TikTok is the Rhodes.family. So I post on TikTok probably 3 or 4 times a day. And then on Facebook, I just mostly my social media is like a fan page for my kids. But so you'll see pictures of my kids all the time and stuff. And yeah. But
so you all stay connected with Mackenzie Rhodes on Facebook and Mackenzie Anna Joy Rhodes, and on TikTok it's the Rhodes family. So make sure you all go follow her, like, subscribe, do everything to help get this content boosted that she's putting out there. She does a lot with being a mom, a nursing mom, so she has a lot of great content over there for you all to check out. All right, Mackenzie. That's awesome. You're a fantastic guest. Thank you for being here today.
Thank you.
I appreciate it so much. And thank you all in the studio audience for being a part of today's experience, because without you, the show wouldn't be anything. So thank you for making the Kim Jacobs Show a part of your family and your household and allowing us.
I love that my husband and best friend were on here. Those two are my favorite people. And they were both on, and I was like, all right, let's go.
So then you were in your element, having Allie and having Trenton and having your children over there.
Oh, yeah. Those are my people.
That's good. Well, thank you for being here, Mackenzie, and thank you for everything you do with the Kim Jacobs Show. I appreciate you, and I love you. And I'm glad that you are a part of the show and a part of my life. Okay. All right, everybody. We're getting ready to close. You have any closing comment, Mackenzie? Do you have any closing comment?
Oh, no, ma'am. You cut out. I know. Okay. Just take time with your kids and be present. For sure. Be present because they're only little ones. Yeah.
Great advice. Be in the book that I wrote called Extreme Balance Makeover. If any of you don't have that book, it's a bunch of tips that I actually shared on NBC when I was the balance expert there, and I would be sent out to families' homes to do balance makeovers. Extreme Balance Makeover is all of those tips compiled into a book called Extreme Balance Makeover. And in there, I talk about being here now, how important it is to be in the moment with your family, and everything can kind of be put on hold, but just be here now. Be in the moment. Appreciate what God gave you and don't take it for granted. All right, everybody, we're going to close out. Have a great rest of your day. I love you all. And thank you, Mackenzie and Trenton and all of y'all. Bye. Thank you for tuning in to today's episode of the Kim Jacobs Show and for being in the virtual studio audience. Your presence truly does make a difference, and I look forward to you bringing your friends and family to join you in the virtual studio audience Monday through Friday at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I look forward to seeing you and make it a great day.